Well, I'm here again, and I'm in bay 23 because that's the only bay that's free. The reason for that is high tide is at 2 o'clock, at 10 to 2, and I couldn't leave my house until 10:30. So to get air and get a spot, a reasonable spot, let alone the spot you want, you need to leave you need to get air quite a few hours beforehand to enable you to get a spot. And then that's just a spot, you know, that's reasonable. As I've just said. So I've been here, I've driven all the way down to the woods, come back, decided to go to East Halton. I drove all the way to East Halton, and there was one bay left. I had to turn around in a bay with a chap who was ever so nice. He let me reverse and he watched me back so I didn't hit any of his gear. Otherwise I'd have a reverse all the way down the road. And there was one bay spare there, which was right at the end near the creek, and I was going to fish it, but it's only a low tide, so you won't fish it for long, and it just stunk of excrement, as though someone had to go. So I'm afraid, I'm sorry for sharing that with you, but it was a bit disgusting. So I left there, I've come all the way back here, and someone's left this bay, bay 23. So again, you can't fish very long here, but hopefully some people will leave this shortly as soon as it hits high water, so I can fish this bit over high. I've only got an hour, so it'll only be like a 2-hour session. So hopefully, I'll just get the right reels. And then I might head down to the woods and have a look down there, see if I can fish down there, unless someone leaves one of these bays there. But then I've forgot my ladder, haven't I? So I did think about putting my ladder on my blackboard, but obviously I didn't. Let me just sort this out. That ain't square. So it's all a bit of a cock up really, but it's just because I couldn't get air soon enough. If I got air soon enough, I'd be in 27. I wouldn't have got in bay 28 because the chap in 28 has been there since the early hours in the dark. He hasn't caught anything. He's no, yeah, he has. He's caught a flounder, I think, or a dab, and a whiting. Now, when I caught my cod in the last one, 60 centimetre cod, it was as dusk was coming. So the reason I've come here today is because the wind is blowing from the south, so it's blowing over me, and it's quite nice weather. There is a little bit of wind, but the rest of the week it's like 30-mile-an-hour gusts, and I don't want to fish that. Now, I also say that I'll never clear up rubbish on camera, and I probably ain't going to today, but this bay is absolutely rancid with rubbish. Somebody's been eating pistachio nuts, which isn't a problem, but there's wipes everywhere. I don't know what they've been wiping. I daren't think after that bay at East Halton, but why just wipe your hands and chuck the wipes everywhere? I mean, there's a bag of newspaper with old baiting over there. It's just absolutely rancid. There's wipes all over the side there. Why did he do it? Absolute retards. That's what they are. Probably shouldn't moan really, because one of them will be a Goliath and he'll stop by here after watching my video and clonk me one. Everybody leaves a bit of rubbish. I'm not someone that goes on and on about the fact of, oh, they've left this rubbish and that rubbish and all that, and we should keep this clean and that clean. You know, things happen. Sometimes stuff blow away, doesn't it, in the wind? And you can't grab it. I've been running down the beach. I must have looked the right bloody pillock. And but you still run after it, don't you? But you know, not everyone can do that, can they? So there's always rubbish that's about. Isn't always someone's immediate fault. These things happen, but not like this. If you get some bloody dog walkers or cyclists or someone walking and they start complaining, then they're going to put the barrier down there and you ain't going to be able to fish on there, are you? As my old man used to say, just think on. Think on. If you want to come here and catch, because this is a good mark when the cod is in. I've just realised. You don't need no fancy pulley pennels and all that stuff. One up, one down. Only takes one complaint, some overzealous bloody pen pusher. If he decides, right, that's it, shut the barrier, then you're all buggered, aren't you? So bloody clear your rubbish up. I don't think I'd ever go on about that. Unless some of them wipes is what you might think it might be, then I might actually go ballistic. Well, I don't know what the tide is today. I don't know how high it is. It's not very high. It's a neat tide. I think it's yeah, it's just a neat small tide. I shall fish this until it gets to where it is again now, and then I shall pack up. And if a load of cars come zooming down this roadway, I shall head on down to the woods and see what it's like there, and I might have a chuck in there, I might not. When I come up earlier, it was fishing on the pinnacle out there. I don't know why he's packed in, because he'd be better off fishing there. Don't know what this bay is like, never fished it before. Don't know if it's snaggy or what. Well, I definitely had something at that. Well, there's something out there anyhow. Well, I can hear me soup bubbling. Gonna have to turn that down on. That was a shame, that was, because that rod was bobbing up and down. Shame that was bobbing up and down, that rod. I probably should have left it. It had gone like that. I should have let it go until it went down and down. Got a big black cloud coming now. It's blocking the sun out, and it looks rainy. But well, at least something's happening. So I'm gonna get my soup now. Plenty of boats coming in. There's the sky, look. But there you go. Well, you saw me reel that one in. I had a knock on it. I don't know whether you got the knock on the camera. I saw the knock and then I switched the camera on. And then it died down. I should have just left it. But I didn't. So, lesson learnt there. Sun's coming out of it now. As soon as that sun comes out from behind the cloud, it's nice and... Now, I've baited up now with... I've got black lug on there still because it was still on there because it's oil black lug. And I've got 2 pieces of prawn now. 2 cars have come down now from up that end, so that's 2 spaces spare up there. I shall take a drive down when I've finished fishing here to the woods and have a look at the woods, because I've never been down there. I've been down there twice and looked at it, but that was a long while ago. So I'm going to go down there and have a recce. Again, if there's any fish out there and they're hungry, they're going to bite them hooks, aren't they? But this hasn't turned out quite as I expected. Like I say, someone's shouting about a 16.5 pound codling coming out of this river. Time you watch this, it'll be been and gone. A bit like Troy's fishing. He don't like to give away where the fish are at the time while he's filming. And because I'm a few weeks in front, I don't mind saying that there's a fish been pulled out, but I know that in 4-5 weeks time this video will come out, and in 5 weeks time, what, we're in middle of December, not be too many cod around. Well, the cod will be here until February, but now's the time. There's another car going now. As soon as it gets near high tide, which we've got another 10 minutes for high. I forgot my ladder. Bloody idiot. Perhaps I could put... No, I'm not going to put it in the van. Need to put it on my blackboard so I don't forget my ladder. These aren't the best tides anyhow, because they're not that high. Today would be a good day to be at Yellow Cross, but there was quite a few people down at the Yellow Cross. There was nowhere to park my van, and they all cram in as well, which I'm not that keen on. People too close to your vehicle. But that's the place to fish, because you'd be able to fish it all the way up, all the way down, in the water all the time. Whereas here, you only get a short period of time to fish. You can jump over, but then it's all onto mud. So, bearing that in mind, I presume I'll have to do a slightly different video. See, high tide tonight is at, well, even tonight it's at 2 in the morning. So I've got work in the morning as well, so I can't really do that. Well, I could fish here, go home, and then probably get half an hour on the sofa. But I'll be tired all the next day, so that's not really a good idea. I think when the weekend gets there, high tide is sort of like a sensible time. But again, you've got to get down there early. They forecast high winds, but that could change. I've just bought some Pen Fathom 12s, magged, the Pen Fathom 2s. I've got £15 line on them with a shot leader, and I won't be using them, but they're for the beach. They aren't for this river. And they're eating away to use them. So I won't be going fishing at Sutton on Sea or somewhere else along there. I think there's North Shore near Skeg. But what's out there? Is there any large cod? I mean, there is codling there. So this is the prime place to be, isn't it, really? even though this is going to be a short session and the tide really hasn't come in a lot, it's still very pleasant. The sun's out now, and so it's warm. I can feel the warmth on the back. I mean, I've took the day off today. I could have gone and done a couple of jobs, but I can do them tomorrow. Tomorrow forecast high winds, or 30-mile-an-hour winds at gusts. So yeah, I just figured I'd come in today. It's not a bad choice, is it? Don't forget to, if you like these videos or like any of my other videos, please subscribe, ring that bell, and leave a comment. And if you really like them, share them about if you would. It'll help grow the channel. Last weekend I had a influx of subscribers. I had, I don't know, 75, something like that. I think I'm now at probably 81 subscribers extra since last Wednesday, Thursday, I think. Thanks a lot to all of you that have watched my videos or video and clicked the subscribe button. It's much appreciated. The same as it is for all of my subscribers prior to you lot, i.e. all of my subscribers now. Thanks for subscribing and staying subscribed soon. Yeah, I had a big boost last week. I don't know why. Don't know whether it was me up the cliff video at Hillston or whether it was me dabs at Sutton on Sea, but thank you very much for subscribing. It's much appreciated. Let's get you in there. Got some ewes coming past. I've been riding around Immingham, having a bit of fun, I expect. Right, let's check what's on this. Got weed on it. Not too much weed. Bit of a disaster session really. Couldn't get here in time. Thought I'd give it a shot anyhow. I didn't think all the bays would be taken, but then when I read Facebook this morning I thought, Christ, they might be all full with the news of a big fish. But we're here trying, aren't we? Tiny bit of weed on that one, but we've baited up with some more prawn. We'll just see how it goes. Chap down there's reeled in at bay 24. He hasn't got anything yet. I wish I'd let that bloody bite develop a bit more. It tapped twice. Should have left it. That was probably my only chance, and only should. Well, it'd been good, wouldn't it? First cast, pulling a fish, stop the blank. I had such a catching session last time though, didn't I? So I presume I'm ready for a blank. The only I don't know if I've said this, probably already, but there you go. But yeah, I come today. One, codling are about, and the river seems a bit hot at the minute. And two, the weather was right for today. Tides aren't brilliant, because obviously it's only a neat small tide. But I just thought if I got air, I'd have been able to jump over the side. I'd have been able to fish the tide all coming up. But when I got air, there was nowhere for Vern to fish. And by the time I left here and got to East Holton, there was nowhere at East Holton for me to fish. Alright, mate. Yeah, there was nowhere for me to fish at East Holton, as I said before. It's just that when I got here, someone had just packed up and he was going down the path as I was coming in. So at least I got the hook in, at least I've wet the line. It's not going to be a long video. I need a high tide at about 3 o'clock. Any time after 3, 3, half 3, 4, any time after 3. That just gives me time to get home, get all the gear in the van, sort myself out and get here. And then hopefully I'll be here before people get here. Or I'll have more chance of a bay anyhow. Even a high tide at 3 o'clock's cutting it a bit. Needs 6 hours from my house to get air to get a bay, really, because there's people that send their mates up there and park in the bay so that when they leave off work they can fish. There's people there that fish all the way through the tides and they have a day off, you know. And there's others that only live on the doorstep, don't they, and they can just shoot here. Now this camera, I'm sure Tom will notice, but this camera was shutting off at 17 minutes 38 seconds. Now, I don't know, perhaps that's another GoPro hidden gem, you know, because you seem to get a lot of them in this. I mean, when I first got this camera, it was set up for 4.3 perspective, like the old-fashioned television. I mean, why would you get a digital camera, which is what a GoPro is? It's a GoPro 7, so it ain't that old. And it comes to you, one, it's got a setting in 4.3 instead of 16.9, and it's already set up in 4.3. Why would they do that? My first video looked like a bloody old-fashioned TV. It looked like bloody Steptoe and Son, but I didn't have my son with me because I ain't got one. So we set that up eventually when we found it, set it up and put it onto 16.9. And I know some of you out there will be saying, well, that's easy. Well, it weren't for us. And then it gets to 17:38 on the when you're recording, and it was then cutting off and then starting up again for some reason. Don't laugh, but this is the last cast, because I kid you not, look at this. I could jump over the side, but I can't be arsed. Been a bit of a disaster today. I shall be back in a bit. It's going to be a short session because tide's nearly out. Right, everybody keeps asking, or well, not everybody, the odd person keeps asking about this tripod. Well, this is the breakaway tripod. You've got two breakaway things there. These actually come off. Trust me on it. You just ping that up. I've only got one hand. They come off. Everything is interchangeable. You know, you can buy these that you put round rails to fish off a rail with. Well, they're all they all go together. So yeah, you can hang your traces off here. You can put another one of these in the middle so you can have 3 rods, and down the bottom you can see that there's 3 slots. One cup is in one slot, but there is 2 other slots for extra cups, so you can have 3 rods off this one tripod. So you ain't got to do what a lot of people do, and that is put on extra bits of plastic pipe with tape and jubilee clips and odge bodge. But there, so this is, it's got a name but I forget what it is. They do it in 2. They do it in aluminium with black paint like this one is, and they do it in just ordinary aluminium. Basically you turn these unscrew, look, and there's a stainless steel bolt in there, there's a brass ferrule in there, and then you just put it together. You've seen what I do, and to put it back you just tighten it up like so. So these are all tight. You don't need any clips to it. Yes, it can go wrong, it has gone wrong in the past, but 95% of the time they're bloody brilliant. So yeah, this is my tripod. The cups come off, just slide up, look, and just give them a winkle and they slide off. And like I say, there's room for 3. And then when you undo the legs, they go into these clips here, so it all clips together, as you can see here. So when you undo it all and put it all together, so you got 3 legs all together, they clip in there. Not a lot going on though, I don't think. Night time's best, I think, isn't it? Is it? I don't know. Yeah. I'm in London. Yeah. I come down there, it was absolutely rammed, and then went to East Halton, and that was rammed.
Alright. That was tight today then? Not now, isn't it?
About 10 to 2 it was. So it's been half an hour and it's nearly gone out. I'm going to have to jump over the side, I think, fish over the side if I carry on.
Yeah.
Or just go up and give up.
I don't fish not today, I just go for walks, it was out there.
Everyone leave all the crap everywhere here though, don't they?
Oh yeah, it's not good, is it?
No.
You do a carry a bag or something, just put it in together with it.
Well, they have, and then they leave it.
Yeah, that's what, well, yeah.
I've got a black bag. I think them 2 bits of newspaper in the back there are from last Thursday, I think it was. I haven't took them out of my van yet.
Yeah. Well, this is your property, isn't it?
Well, that was someone else's.
It's amazing how many drinkers are down here, just full of cans and stuff down, isn't it?
And now you got people fly tipping on the path as well.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not the right thing, because they'll shut the bloody thing down, won't they?
Yeah, it's the environment, just say do it, can't they? Yeah, let's put the gate up, can't they?
Well, there's one there, isn't there? They've only got to put it down. Wind. I've had the wind that much, and that just lately it's just been too much. If you get one weather condition that's extreme, it's but yeah, it's been like I say, I came here, it was packed, and then I went to East Halton and that was packed. Every bay was took. So I come back here and someone just left, because they do leave here quite early, don't they?
I don't know you can now or not, but you used to go to.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah, my town was always, yeah, I don't know. Maybe go there now. Let's go low tide, see what it's like.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff. I'm talking about a lot of years ago. So.
Well, yeah, I used to fish in the well, I'm from Norfolk and I used to fish at Yarmouth and Galston a lot, and you could go there for an hour and a half, for like 20 odd fish off Britannia pair, and you was laughing, you know. But now they've took too many fish out, haven't they? I think.
Yeah, 40 years ago you could come down here, you could go down there. Good ones. I know the shit.
Yeah. I caught a 60 centimetre codlin last week. It's the first one I've caught this year. Absolutely jumping around like headless chicken I was, and I stuck it back in. Felt that sorry for it. I thought it's got to go back in, and what, you know, if I want a bit of cod, I'll just go to the chip shop.
Yeah.
And I stuck it back in, but then 10 minutes later somebody else could record it and knocked it on his head. I don't care what I catch as long as I catch something, but I'm not one of these that always wants to catch the big, because they ain't about anyhow. It's just nice to catch a fish. I blank enough. It's just nice to catch something. I caught a snotty eel during the summer down there. First one I've caught this year. Size of the hook in the side of its mouth, it tore its mouth a bit because it was big, so I put it back. It was alright. I don't weigh him. Now I like to get him out, measure him if I've got the measure there, and then get him back. I don't want him out. I have a bucket normally for flounders and dabs and stuff and whiting. If it's big, then I just like to get it out, measured and back. 60 centimetres. That is a big fish, yeah. I don't know. I ain't got a clue. Yeah, I'm a Keelan man. It was a good fish. Big head on it. Yeah. Looks like my biggest smooth hand's 88 centimetres. I just measure them. See a lot of people, don't you, with the scales, and they shove it in, and it's a bit harsh, I think. And I've never got, well, I've got a plastic bag. I've got a plastic bag. Yeah, I've got a carry bag now, but I didn't have the other day. Yeah. I think I'm going to have some scran and then get this pulled in. Enjoy your walk, mate.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, is it? Seaweed on it. Well, tide's picked up. That's come loose now. Tide's picked up, tangled the rig up, but it's now coming to them. There's a layer of rocks down there. I've not fished this bay before, but I do know there's a layer of rocks and then there's another layer, and that was tangled up to hell, and now it's just untangled itself. Prawn bait's still on. I think if it was dark, it'd be a bit different, but what I think I'll do is that's it for this day, this session. Very short. Only been fishing for filming for about an hour, so only been fishing for an hour and a half, something like that. So yeah, short one for Tom. Ain't gonna take him long to edit this one, is it? Yeah, not good, not good. But I tried to get air on. I tried to get air so that I was. I can't believe that is all come undone. Yeah, so left off work this morning, like I say, got here as quick as I can, and obviously it weren't quick enough, so but there, at least it's not gonna be a late night, is it? Had a little bit of a trip out, had a coffee, had something to eat, had a food cast, done the best we can, and that's all you can ask, isn't it, really? It's been nice. It's now getting a little bit chilly now because the cloud cover's covering the sun quite a lot. Still right chuffed about my codlin that I caught. I don't know how much it would have weighed. I might set up a sling or something. No, but I like getting the fish back. That's what I do. But it could change, couldn't it? But yeah, thanks for watching. I'm sure you've got this far. I hope you have. It's a short one. If you're going to come to the Humber, as I already know, you've got to get here early during cod season to get yourself a place. These bays down this end aren't so good, especially on neap tides. If it's spring tide, it's not so bad. You get longer fish. But we've been out, took in some fresh air, had a food chucks, had something to eat, and blanked. But I should be out here again at the weekend, and I will leave in plenty of time, because I've got plenty of time at the weekend. Tides aren't till late at night anyhow. I shall look at Friday and Saturday, I think, but if they're a failure, then I've always got Sunday to fall back on, haven't I? So yeah, I'm gonna go down to the woods. I might strike this back up again, see there might be something else on there. I'll show you down there. But yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like, and leave a comment. Thanks a lot. but there's wipes everywhere. I don't know what they've been wiping. I daren't think after that bay at East Halton.